What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I had a couple of requests on doing a video about how I made this tractor pull sled for the 24 scale. Actually, this is more or less going to be like a prototype. I'm probably going to go ahead and, instead of the plexiglass, do some actual metal, stuff like that, kind of make it look better. I just kind of was bored and I thought, you know what, I've got this extra chassis here. I'm going to use it and make a sled for tractor pull for the 24 scales. So what it is, if you look at it, you can kind of tell if this were flipped over the right way and was put on here like it's supposed to be. What this was, it was actually a low-C night crawler is what it was. And I had took the stuff off of it and done some other things with it. Wasn't a big fan of this crawler. And so I was left with the chassis. So I went ahead and took some spacers and stuck in here and just took some screws I had, took the stock wheels off of the SCX24, the Gladiator, and stuck them on here just for the, for the tires. And it just happened to work out that it made a good, sled, so to speak. And of course took my worn winch, cut a little piece of plexiglass, screwed it down to it, and then of course it will run off of, my controller here for the winch. That way it can, can be pulled as it needs to be. It'll pull the sled part in with the weight. We'll put some weight on it. And then, this here is just another little piece of plexiglass plastic that I put on there just so this can extend out farther. That way you can, have a longer area to pull the weight. Instead of it being so short, oh, well, you're already to the end. You need a lot more room. But like I say, this is just kind of a prototype deal that I'm working on. But I am going to be replacing the plastic with some good metal and stuff like that and making it, a little bit better. This here does want to hang up as it slides in, so I need to put some kind of rails on it. I may cut a notch down through here. That way I can run a screw through here with a washer, maybe top and bottom. That way it'll have a little guide here where it'll have to run straight through there instead of, coming in sideways and stuff like that. But just something that I just kind of popped into my head. I'm always coming up with some kind of little tinkering, something like this. But I thought, you know what? Why not? I mean, it'd be something kind of different to do. But that's about it, guys. I mean, that's all it was. Like I said, it was just a low-C night crawler chassis that I had. That everything was stripped down off of it. That's how the chassis would have sat. This would have been flipped over, of course, and bolted in here. And then, your battery would have sat there and your electronics and so on and so forth up here. But that's what it is. Just simple chassis made into a sled. The way it sloped right here, it made it good for, being able to pull like that, and get the weight down there as it pulls it up. But other than that, yeah, that's it, guys. Very, very simple to do. You can always just take you a piece of any kind of a good thick plastic and just draw you out some kind of shape like this, and make you two pieces and then put you some kind of a spacer in the middle, to bolt it together, and then make you a little track out of another piece of plastic. I mean, you can come up with all kinds of little things that, you can do to make these things. I'm thinking about making one for the 10th scale, but actually making a nice one, not just out of some other things, actually going ahead and cutting some metal out and making an actual little booth back on the back side of it, maybe like where the guy would sit in there, stuff like that. But yeah, that's all it was to it though. Just the little winch bolted down there, and then, like I said, I took the battery tray from the bottom and drilled a hole in it and put my hook on it for my winch there, and then, like I said, just added this to it, sewed some stock 24 scale tires on it, wheels, and there you go. That's it. Now your battery and stuff like that, I'll probably, more than likely, I'll probably end up having it set up under here, probably velcroed to the bottom, just a small battery, just something enough to run the winch. That way, everything's over here instead of having, all this stuff running to the truck and having the weight on the truck and, all that stuff. That way everything's here and it's always equal, amount of weight and stuff like that. And then everything's still contained. I can just unhook the chain from the truck to the sled, and then there we go. Everything's, like I said, contained in one area. So that's what it is. Kind of neat, huh? Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Excuse me. Oh, just got done eating supper and whew, got the heartburns. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, checking this out. If you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you. If you are subscribed, we love having you. But until next time guys, remember, it's just a toy. Make it yours.